Efe Obada is a player that is doing what a lot of these young kids are hoping to do in a few years' time. Made it to the NFL, and it was a hell of a journey for you, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. I had a lot of no's, had a lot of adversity, but my coaches and my mentors instilled a lot of great values in me that, once I was in the fire, I could apply, and I was very lucky to have the success that I have right now.
Even the rise that you had has been pretty meteoric. If you look at the speed at which you progressed, and each step of the way, there are trials, there are tests, and that's exactly what these kids are going through today, a D-Day, a day of reckoning, a test. So how do you mentally prepare yourself for that? Because I keep hearing players saying, you just got to be calm, you got to stay calm, but it's easier said than done, isn't it?
Yeah, yes it is. So what's really unique about my situation and being able to be here and interact with these kids is because, I'm from where they're from. I've been in their shoes. I've been surrounded by a lot of things in society that they've been surrounded by. And now I'm on that journey. I'm a bit further up in the journey that they're on. So I can break it down to them in ways that maybe some of the American players can't, and make it relatable as well. And for me, what I try to instill in them is just self-belief and just some of the values that I have as well, in terms of because I never knew anything about the sport. Neither did some of these kids. All I had was work ethic. All I knew was you got to apply yourself every day. You got to go to work hard. If you fail, learn from it, come back the next day and try to be better. 1% every day, and that's kind of what I'm trying to instill in these kids.
Let's talk about that journey. So rocking up at the London Warriors, and Tony Allen, of course, who's really established it in the academy as well. You hadn't played the game, obviously, you didn't know much about the game, but you knew that you wanted to be involved. So as a completely raw recruit, how long did it take you to get some of the basics with those guys around you coaching you?
I didn't get some of the basics until I got to the NFL, to be honest. All I did was see ball, get ball. but yeah, it took a while. It took a while because I made most of my mistakes in the NFL, and I've been very fortunate that I've had the opportunities that I've had, because a lot of people, even Americans that have been playing the sport from a young age, haven't had some of the opportunities that I've had. But I'm grateful that I made the most of the opportunities. These kids are in a very, very privileged position because, regardless of how much experience they've had of the game, they're 16, 15, and I picked up the game when I was 21, so already they're ahead of me. And I wished countless times when I was in the NFL, getting released or not knowing what to do and struggling and trying to learn this whole different language and this whole different culture, that I went through the whole student athlete route that everybody else took. I felt like I would have been a bit further up. Yeah. But I was there. I was privileged to be there. I knew that all I had to do was control what I can control and apply myself, and I'm very fortunate that it's paying off.
Yeah, all's well that ends well.
Yeah.
Finally, we're hearing a lot about how many of these players can make it to the NFL, can get a contract, can get an elite status following your footsteps, but the reality is not many of them are going to do that. But there's so much more to the academy than that, isn't there?
Yes, there is. There's like I said, it's more about the values. There's life skills. And education is huge. It's a huge part of this academy. You excel as much as your education, and like I said, it's more about the values. So in this journey to trying to become an NFL player, I've acquired a lot of skills that I feel like if NFL doesn't work, I can go anywhere and do anything, because that's literally how I view life now. Whereas before, I'll be a bit anxious, I'll put myself in a box, I'll be in my own way, I'll listen to society or whatever. But right now, through this journey and through molding myself and through these values, I can do anything. If I decided today, I'm going to stop NFL and become a lawyer, believe I'll become a lawyer. Yeah. Or if I want to become a doctor, believe I'll become a doctor, because of the values that the NFL and that grind has taught me. And that's it.
You're telling that, teaching them that,
and that's it, yeah. And not everybody wants to be an NFL player, but it's the values, and that's it.
Yeah, fair play. Listen, man, it's a privilege to chat to you, man.